Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today of the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer. This beer is a beer that was told to me to be one of the worst beers in Saskatchewan. Now, which one of the four of these it was, I'm not sure. I picked up all four. They had four variants. I know it's brewed in Saskatoon, which makes a few different things weird, okay? So it's brewed in Saskatoon. The only two breweries in Saskatoon I could think of that would be big enough would be Minhas or Great Western. Looked it up online. It says Great Western. I have had one of the four, not the one I'm having tonight, and it tasted more like a Minhas beer. So I'm a little sad that Great Western brews it. However, the next weird thing is Untappd, and this is the reason why Untappd makes me angry, because people can just put in their own stuff. Untappd says it's brewed by District in Regina. Even the can says it's brewed in Saskatoon. Right. Let's one second. I'm just gonna see if the other ones are brewed in Saskatoon and this one's brewed here, because I can't actually make this one out easily. Prepared for the Federated Co-op Limited, Saskatoon. Under license, okay. It is Co-op Gold Light that we're looking at. I'm just, Okay, this one actually doesn't say where it's brewed. This one says prepared by Federation. Okay, so maybe this one is brewed by... Maybe this one is brewed by them. I'm a little weirded out now. Anyway, District makes some good beers, so I'd be very, very, very let down if this is not good. You see Chill Haze on it. This is the first beer that probably the first beer I've really reviewed cold. And I'm doing it on purpose because I know what these taste like. At least I know what the full strength version tastes like, not cold. And I'm not looking to put that flavor in my mouth again until I review it, because it's actually in the cupboard, not in the fridge. And we are looking at 4% alcohol by volume. It looks like what you'd expect from a light beer. I mean, you pour it, you get the bright white head, it's big and frothy. You get the beautiful straw color, crystal fucking clear. Like, crystal clear. I can see the can through the beer. See my hand through the beer. So, it looks the part of a golden light American lager. It does. Scent from the can. Smells like a corn chip soaked in soda water with a little bit of sweetness. It is your corn soda. It's kind of what you'd expect out of her. It has that macro-esque corn soda-like smell out of the glass, but it also has a little bit of a dirty, earthy bitterness coming off of it from the hopping, which I could see be what throws people off. I mean, if you went out and you bought this thinking you're getting like a Coors Light or something, yeah, that's gonna throw you for a loop. Cheers, let's try it. Light-bodied, light carbonation. Tiny bit of malty sweetness up at the forefront. Nondescript malty sweetness. Can't say whether it's malt, can't say, like, barley, can't say whether it's wheat, can't say whether it's corn, rice, I don't know. It's nondescript, but it's so light-bodied that I would think that it's more on the corn end of things. But at the same time, we're in Saskatchewan, so it should be more in the barley end of things. Maybe lentils? You think you would go with something that, because these are $12.99 12 pack, $12.99 6 packs, which is fairly cheap for a 6 pack in this province. So I'm a little perturbed about what grains make up the malt bill on this. The back end, tiniest touch of sweetness, tiniest touch of earthiness. I can't say this is bad. I'm sure if it was warm, there was a lot of tinniness on the last one I had. There was a lot of dirty, earthy, weird sweetness. You could tell it was being made very fast and very cheap. And I'm sure if this was warm, I would get all those flavors. And the reason I drank it cold was I wanted to look at it the way it would be drank by the majority of people. There's not many people that drink their beer warm. I'm one of them. There's a lot of other beer reviewers that do. There's a lot of Europeans that do. There's a lot of cicerones that will try their beer warm. There's a lot of brewers that will try their beer warm. But there's not a lot of the average drinker that will drink their beer warm. So because I knew that this wasn't going to be something that a craft beer guy was going to go buy, leave on his counter for like 2 or 3 days and go, I need a beer. It was going to be something that you would buy, put in your fridge, and pull out at some point just to drink it. It had to be done cold. It had to be. And I figured of all 4 of them, this would be the least likely to be the one that was the worst beer in Saskatchewan. So I'm like, you know what? This one can be cold. I'll do the other 3 the other way just to see. However, I might actually put them in the fridge and try them that way, because the guy that said it to me said they'd pull it out of the fridge and they were like, oh no. So apparently it tastes like that even out of the fridge. This doesn't taste like anything really. It's an adult wobbly pop. It's beer. That's all it is. It's just beer. If you like macro beer, there's nothing wrong with it. You'll probably like it. A little bit more hoppiness on the back end than most macro beers. But if you're a macro beer drinker and you want to try something somewhat craft, or at least brewed by a craft brewery, because even if it is Minhas that brews it, and again, it says district on Untapped, so if it is district, they do a lot of contract brewing. They have a lot of extra space, and they do the contract. So I could see them possibly do it. They know what they're doing. If it's Great Western, they know what they're doing, especially for these type of beers. If it's Minhas, as much as I don't like them, they know what they're doing for these type of beers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this beer. There really isn't. If I could get a 2-4 of it for $38, like I can get a 2-4 of the No Name Light, it would be a toss from the Superstore. It would be a toss up which one I would buy. Alas, this one would be $52 for the 2-4. That one's $38.99 for the 2-4. So I would buy that 2-4 over this one. But if I'm just quickly needing a 6-pack of beer to do a podcast or something, this is perfectly fine to pick up. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for what it is. For just taste and enjoyment, probably a 5. But for what it is, would I buy it again? Sure, I have no problem with it. So that's where I'm looking at it. Cool Up Gold Light. Thank you. Bye-bye.